Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Newsround for Anfield Index. This is kind of starting to become a routine that none of us wanted. I didn't want it, you didn't want it. There's a lot of things we're not wanting right now. Results, performances, systems, we'll get into it all, but it is a European defeat for the Reds in Istanbul, which does require some serious analysis. I'm your host, Dave Davis, coming to you from, well, it's absolutely pissing it down right now in Edinburgh. And that's kind of a little bit how it feels for this season, doesn't it, at the moment? Or in terms of maybe the season, too dramatic, in terms of the way things are going right now. Because there's the headline says, Liverpool slipped to defeat by Galatasaray in Istanbul. And if you're deadly honest about this one, they didn't deserve too much, really, did they? But we start every news round by asking, how are we? Now, this all depends where you fall on sort of the swingometer, if you want to call it that, because even the most optimistic Reds right now will say, well, hold on. We are top of the league still. PSG struggled in their qualifying campaign, and look what happened there. It's early days. These players are quality. Give them time. And there's an element of logic to that. You can't just simply, even if you're on the other end of the swingometer, just dismiss all of that. Now, we are seeing some of the stronger things at the other end, like Slot's lost the plot. You know, none of these players are all duds, blah, blah, blah. Probably the truth, as ever with these things, is somewhere in the middle. But in terms of asking that question of how are we, I don't think anyone's particularly joyous right now. And that's probably the most mild-mannered I can come up with now. You've got rightly concerns, and you've got concerns about the system or the systems that we seem to be playing. You've got concerns about the style, the lack of fluidity. How many players are just playing so poorly? The decisions the head coach is making. There's a lot of things to be concerned about. But football, as we know, can just change in an instant like that. And obviously there is the game against Chelsea on Saturday. And never thought I would say this, but it's quite a few sort of pinpointed it. Maybe, just maybe, an international break isn't the worst thing to be coming up or on the horizon. We shall see, But in terms of things we'll see about, let's actually listen, because I do want to give you this, to what the manager said after the game. What did Arne Slot actually claim about the game, the performance, the way it was? Let's just have a quick listen.
It seemed that we've hardly played. The ball was hardly in play. Disappointing, because you play football to win a game, and that's what we didn't do. For me, it was a different loss than the one we had against Palace. Because for me, there was a lot more to like, especially in the first half, which was maybe different to the Palace game. And in the second half, it became harder and harder for us to create. First of all, because they were fighting with all they had. So you always have to give credits to them. Second of all, because we hardly played in the second half. It seemed that we've hardly played. The ball was hardly in play.
See, sometimes I think Arne Slot absolutely nails it. I really do. But there's sometimes I think I've got to disagree on this one. Well, there's a lot more to like than the Palace game. Well, the first half, correct on that. The Palace game was the worst first half of the season. We know it could have been 5-0 or so. This one, it was quite even, to be fair, apart from the penalty. There was the one where Ekitike went through. I kind of just wanted him to smash it with his left foot, but it didn't happen. There was, half chance. It was a pretty even game, I would say, in the first half. There was a couple of occasions they broke behind and relied on Alisson, but then we broke behind as well. So it was better than the Palace first half. However, this is where I've got to go into the disagreement. I know people will fixate on the last-minute goal given up to Palace, but we created a lot of chances in that second half against Palace. A lot. and we really should have buried some of them. In this one, it got worse as it went along, and you could have sensed and smelled the desperation in the way they were playing, the disjointedness, the way it went on, the way the subs came on, and some big talent, which we'll talk about, that we just weren't finding, weren't utilising there. So, to be honest, I disagree with him. I don't think there was a lot to like about even the way they played in this. Just, has anyone noticed at the moment, how much are we struggling to progress the ball through the thirds, starting from the back? And one of the big concerns about starting from the back was there's no right back he trusts. I don't think anyone can debate that. Dominic Szoboszlai seems to be his first choice right back right now. And we know what Dominic Szoboszlai's best and natural position is. He's just such a willing player for the team. But the reason he's put him there is quite clearly, and you saw it last night again, doesn't trust Frimpong there at right back, hence why he played right wing last night. And if that gives us a sort of a feel of when Mo Salah's not around at AFCON, Conor Bradley doesn't seem to be trusted there as well. And mainly the big thing, because we can't seem to progress the ball from the back, that if you can cut off Virgil van Dijk's passing lanes and all he's got is that big switch at times, that teams you're seeing are happy for, and we'll talk about this player, Konate, to have the ball because of his limitations there. Attacking players like Wirtz and others dropping deep to get the ball. We are massively struggling to progress that thing. And it's slow, it's ponderous quite often, it's one-paced. There are a lot of concerns. And, I mean, even the skipper was quite honest. But again, it's saying similar to what he said after Palace, we have to improve quickly and we have to stick together. It's difficult to say if Galatasaray deserved the win. I don't really think we deserve much. And again, it's great to say we have to improve quickly. Like, it's the right thing to say and stick together. It is the right thing to say, but they need to wake up, some of them, and they need to wake up super fast. Now, the result was bad, but it's not disastrous in terms of Champions League campaign, the hopes, anything like that. What makes it for me, and it turns into a disastrous night, is the players that were injured. And to be honest, I don't think there's any doubt about this. The two players that are in the best form, Alisson, a one-man band against Crystal Palace at times. I still don't understand how he kind of saved it and injured it. It looked like his groin again or his hammy. I still don't get that little bit. It looked very strange, but he's off. And as Arne Slot said on this, he won't be able to play Saturday, that I'm sure. And again, we talked about an international break. Hopefully it's not too bad, but actually it might work well. And then Marmadashvili, is a more than able deputy, is a good keeper, but it's just different with Alisson, isn't it? And this player, the only one of the attackers that seems to be really on it at the moment, Hugo Ekitike. Now, it is important to say that, as Arne Slot said, we'll have scans and we'll see. A few journos have quoted this, that in the mix zone, Hugo Ekitike was saying he felt it was cramp. However, think about Frimpong at the start of the season, that first game when they kind of took him off precautionary and thought it was okay, and look how that worked out. So I don't think you're expecting Ekitike in there at all for Saturday, but you hope, again, maybe an international break, touch wood, not being too bad, comes up at the right time. But yeah, that if they're longer term, which touch wood they're not, I think this strays into a disastrous game for us last night. Other concerns. I mean, technically the penalty is a set piece, isn't it? But Michael Reid put this out yesterday. It was now 5, but Liverpool conceded 4 goals from set pieces in 6. Well, sorry, it's not Premier League, is it? It's European. But Liverpool conceded 4 goals from set pieces in 6 Premier League games this season. And obviously, there's now a 5th one if you were to lump in the Champions League. But this is the crucial part of his tweet. It wasn't until Liverpool's 22nd game last season that they conceded 4 set-piece goals. It just looks horrible at the back, doesn't it? It looks horrible. Well, it looks horrible in many areas. But even this, which you thought would bring us great joy, this came out last night through L'Equipe. Liverpool are confident of agreeing a new contract with Ibrahima Konate, who was offered a new renewal bid 2 weeks ago. Couple of things on this. We've heard this before. I still think I know where he'll end up. I think most of you do as well, but we could be wrong on that. It could be that we get a renewal done. Although I've got to be honest, stinking again. And I mean, he was horrendous last night. And to be honest, the ball that he played, I don't really know what, Gravenberch didn't have a choice really, or didn't have a chance. So, which leads to the Alisson injury. What I'm struggling with Konate at the moment is he's still playing despite how badly he's performing. And people talked about the centre-half options, and obviously Leone is now out for the season, longer, possibly. Does Arne Slot have that lack of trust in Joe Gomez that even the way Ibu Konate is playing, Joe Gomez isn't getting in? I genuinely mean this. We know what Ibu can do on his day, but right now, just factually analysing it, what you can see in front of you, I'd want Joe Gomez in for Chelsea. I genuinely would. And actually, one thing that Joe Gomez is better than Ibu Konate at is punching the ball through the lines. I'm not saying he's, the world's best, but he is better that way. And to me, just the form Konate's in, I don't understand how he's playing. I don't understand how we could justify playing him against Chelsea, because if he thinks he is a better option still than Joe Gomez, you kind of question the whole things about the centre-backs, don't you, the Mark Gay? But, we can stray off to a tangent there. Not good. In terms of other concerns, the new signings. Now, the first one, I actually felt bad for Isak, because you could see him throwing his arms up and, trying to get the ball. Look at that for a touch. Only touched the ball 4 times after coming on in the 62nd minute. And it was a positive start, wasn't it? That chip ball from Florian Wirtz over the top, and he shrugged off defender. He kind of shinned it a bit, but you were like, okay, that's better. Isak's going to be involved. We've got some, penetration behind. But as that line says there, he just got absolutely no service. No service at all. Now, Florian Wirtz, again, you'll get a mixture on this. Whatever I say, you will have your own opinions. You had Carragher, didn't you, on CBS talking about the need to take him out the team at the moment would be the right option for me. That stat there as well. Florian Wirtz lost the most duels, 9 on the pitch tonight. A difficult evening for Liverpool's number 7. He does need to get a bit tougher or stronger in those duels. I don't think even his most ardent supporters can doubt that. Welcome to what's expected at Liverpool a little bit, isn't it? There is some nice stuff. I know, again, this is about analysis. Only a fool argues otherwise. It's a lovely chip ball, isn't it, for Isak to run onto that creates that chance. Dear me, it's a lovely cut inside. It's a brilliant cross, isn't it, for Conor Bradley, who I thought was a bit pathetic, to be honest, kind of just closed his eyes a bit and looked a bit, commit to it, and there's a goal there. Should have buried it. But it's brilliant play from Florian Wirtz there, that cross. So there are good moments, and Arne Slot was, keen to defend it and said, everyone will default to the new signings. But it is right to ask questions. This is where, again, where you've got to analyse, because I've seen even the most ardent Florian Wirtz supporters now go into no, it's others not giving the ball the right time. Is what Florian Wirtz is doing always good? No. Is it always bad? No. Are there things he could improve on? Without doubt. I do think a little bit, as you're starting to see, left is his position right now. I don't know what we're doing with that left-hand side. That is honestly, as much as I talk about the right-back situation, the left-hand side, I don't understand what's going on. Cody Gakpo again offered nothing. But that seems to get ignored a little bit, that he does nothing, doesn't seem to have any relationship or trust almost, it seems, with Kerkez. And by the way, Milos Kerkez, I don't know if he's being babysat by Virgil van Dijk as part of his contract, but he was always coming in a bit inside or in the middle. Like, essentially, Milos Kerkez is not doing any of the things that he did well at Bournemouth. And it looks like by design a little bit, as in we're not getting him to do those things. It is utterly baffling for me what is going on down that left-hand side at the moment. Genuinely, I did, when Florian Wirtz came, as we said on many shows, I did think he would sort of play left, cut in, a bit like he did in obviously I know it's a different formation. He was at a Leverkusen in a 2 behind Chick coming in from the left. I thought that's the closest we could make him. And then Kerkez would be the roadrunner bombing on. I think most people did. Yeah. So those are the two new signings. Ekitike, I thought he had a good game, to be fair, up until the injury. So you hope that's not too bad. But also, you've got to be honest, it's your bankers, your ones who you thought, don't worry if it goes badly. We still got, McAllister, Salah, it's just not really happening for anyone at the moment, is it? And I think chopping and changing the system, the way things work at the moment, I don't think that's helping anyone as well. In simple terms, people, there is a lot for Arne Slot to solve by Chelsea, and the international break, in the bizarrest way, may just be coming at the best possible time. We will see what Saturday brings, first of all. But even today, we've got plenty coming up for you. So naturally, we've got Daily Red coming up. You'll have Mulby on the spot, Scouser Tommies, 2 Foot and Extra. The boys did Raw last night as well. So there's plenty to absorb and download at the same time as well. It's natural to be a bit concerned right now, isn't it? 2 defeats. It's not a crisis. That would be too strong. But it's a fair bit of a drama at Liverpool just now. Let's see what the weekend will bring. Before then, let's see what injury updates will bring. Fingers crossed. Hail Mary on everything right now. And on Wednesday, the 1st of October, that was another news round for Anfield Index.